Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to start a new series this week titled Winning Your Final Show. And in parentheses, I'm going to put of the year because at the time of this recording, we're getting toward that end of the season. And I personally have a lot of clients, Adam, I'm sure you do too, that have already competed a couple times. And now that final show's on the horizon. And it takes a lot of different peaking strategies because everybody's in a unique place. And B, there is kind of a challenge to that. I mean, everybody's excited. They've got some momentum and they want to win. So let's talk about in our first episode, assuming people got lean enough. We'll start there. And so, you don't necessarily have that much further to go. I even told one client this week, if we accidentally lose 0.5% more body fat, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. But you're lean enough. Like our biggest goal is to protect your lean body mass. So we've had to strategize by how far can we raise up daily carbs. If we're doing any kind of calorie modulation, which we are with him, a couple, back-to-back days on the weekend, we're coming up. How far do we go where we're protecting that lean body mass, but we're not creating actual body fat gain? That's a razor's edge. So how do you manage these kind of things with clients, and how do you try and convey that to them to make sure that communication, which is vital at this time, almost touch and go, is happening correctly?
Usually I want a closer eye on these people. They're already ready. And, I want to see those changes. And like you said, I currently have a client right now. He competed actually about 6 weeks ago. He was definitely lean enough. And we've been raising calories like crazy for the past 5 weeks. We got to the point we started seeing some body fat gain. So what I did with him is I started doing 2 check-ins a week and 2 days that were actually about 100 grams, 120 grams of carbs lower than what he's actually normally been consuming. So just 2 days where we dipped down and then kind of keeping those calories higher the rest of the week. And I actually was able to do his peak week this week. So there's not going to be a ton of loading because we're kind of at that, pivotal point where we've hit his ceiling, and that's probably as high as it's going to get. And you have to keep in mind, it's not about eating more food. It's about how you look. And I think a lot of people get carried away that their food must always go up. So we've just kind of maintained that way. Of course, that's just one example of how to do it, but that's kind of what we've been doing with him.
And we're going to have a specific episode on peaking strategy because that really dovetails from what you're doing now with this client into how his peak is going to be very different than maybe, what he did just a couple of weeks ago. But another thing that you just said that is critical is that just because you've competed and you were lean enough doesn't mean that you're just going to skyrocket calories. It still takes a very slow grind. So I'll give you another example of a client who could have been a little bit leaner. This is the first time we've worked together, and we had his first contest. And I said, okay, we definitely, for your next show, we can improve by being a little bit leaner. But you've been working so hard, we can accomplish that with a slow incremental increase. So we instantly, after that first contest, raised carbohydrates by 25 grams, for the first week. And he still lost weight. And then I said, okay, this weekend, let's go have a nice big meal, just kind of a steak, potato, don't do anything sugary or stupid, but just a nice big meal. I think he actually opted for, a huge plate of sushi. A day later, his weight is still down. So I said, okay, now for next week, let's go up another 25 grams of carbs. And that's probably going to be enough. We were on a really steep decline for that first show. We can still be lean enough, but this is a chance to recover a little bit and still make progress toward that next show. So there are infinite ways you may have to manage and coach a client based on what they need. But this is a really, really good chance to fine tune and perfect from the point they competed the first time to that last show of the year.
That second scenario is a lot of fun to work with when you can show clients that you can eat a little bit higher and still lose weight. It also sets them up for a great position to be in their reverse too.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody wants that big metabolic build, right? They want to be, that superstar that we talk about who got so lean early and we're just stair-stepping food up. But even that first step helps. We're still losing, and then we may be able to accomplish that on a closer proximity to the peak week. But guys, stick around because we're going to go through a few more things that I think is going to be critical for you to take that final win of your season after you've already been in the game for, probably a show or two. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time in Contest Prep University.